So I'm going to tell my Falco Master story right quick, because then you guys will know who Falco Master is when we talk about him. He's this ethereal being who just like, he doesn't exist, but he's also everyone. You just enter a tournament set with this Falco who just goes by the name of like Ralph or Ron or something.
Shout outs to both Ralph and Ron.
And I looked at Toph and I was telling him that I was playing bad, and the guy sat down and he picked Falco, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I hope it's not Falco Master, dude. I hope that I'm not playing Falco Master right now.
Right.
This commentary section would spark a legend of a masked man, and a being that is all of us at the same time. Today, I want to tell you the short but incredible story of Melee's masked mystery, Falco Master 3000. It's Saturday, November 15th, 2014. You're at the Edmonton Smash Melee Locals, and it's just like any other week. Except this week, there's a new, well, I don't want to say face. A man wearing a ski mask and sunglasses walks into the room, carrying a GameCube controller, and signs up to the tournament under the name Falco Master 3000. Without saying a word to anyone around him, he sits down to play his sets. And he's good. He's really good. He's beating your local players left, right, and center, all without saying a single word. Then suddenly, it's Grand Finals. This person is Falco Master 3000, and is so much more than just this incident. Let me tell you about it. The term Falco Master came from this commentary block with Scar and Toph, where they discussed about players getting a lot better nowadays in those times. If only they knew. And how any spacer you sit down to play against might just be Falco Master. And you better be ready, or he's gonna beat your ass. This clip then seemed to manifest itself with the Falco Master incident I talked about, which took the community by storm. The Reddit thread getting mass upvoted, and people throughout the thread taking just pot shots at who it might be. Is it Mango? Is it Westballs? Is it Mango's son who has travelled back through time? Just who on earth is this Falco Marth Fox player who's just shown up in Canada and is wrecking everyone? It spawned so much fan art and creations. My favourite being this animated opening by Gilded Guy, which truly gives off such a pure and innocent feeling of Melee that I definitely will come back to later in the video. You can just see how this is enticing to anyone who plays Melee or any fighting game for that matter. One of the big drawing points of high-level Melee is that people like to point out that you can tell two players apart purely on their playstyle. How the game is so beautiful that you embodied that character that's on the screen. Well, if this is true, then now was the time to prove it. Now was the time to find out just who is Falco Master. While the speculation was fierce, in the end it was all it would amount to. Speculation. Now, if this was a normal video of mine, I might, I don't know, go through the footage of Falco Master, find the key traits in his gameplay, the habits, and then find players that might match up with that gameplay. However, that would be pretty tough, because unfortunately the VODs are lost to time. The only footage we have is that documented by the hero who made the video on Falco Master. And in these sets, Falco Master played 3 different characters. So disconcerting habits from just clips would be really, really tricky, nigh impossible. But just know, I really, really wish I could do that for you. It'd be so much fun. But doing that would also be a disservice to you, the viewer. Because, I mean, we kind of already know who Falco Master is. The main prevailing theory was that it was Super Boom Fan, one of the GOATs of Smash 64. Not only is his build the same, he also used to live in Alberta, so if he was visiting his family, that might have been a fun thing he would do on the side. Apparently, he'd also been sighted in the same shoes. That was all compounded when he entered the Smash Masters competition at Super Smash Con in, well, this. So yeah, Super Boom Fan is probably Falco Master. But Chaler, you may be asking, aren't we only this much into the video? What do you mean we already know his identity? Well, what was more interesting to me than the man behind the mask is the community response to it, and how it seems to just perfectly encapsulate what people love so much about the FGC. To illustrate just what I mean, I want to go back to that video I mentioned, the anime OP style Falco Master opening. One, not only is it a crazy animation, I mean it's just beautiful to look at, but but it captured what resonated so much with the people of the community about Falco Master. The video starts with Falco Master eagerly picking up his controller, running along with it in his backpack, a spring in his step, as he gets to his room and begins grinding away at his TV all through the night, thinking about that tournament that's to come the next day. Then it cuts to him outside of the tournament as it notes a small little character crisis. He bursts in and throws his name into the bracket just like anyone else there. The video making sure you see just how lowly seated he is as he sits down to play, followed by this beautiful action sequence of all the characters. Falco Master then spikes his controller, and what follows is a sequence of a lot of relevant figures in the Smash community and an image of bursting through the bracket, only to be standing before the shadowed final opponent, only to then flash back to Falco Master in a group playing in that small hall, which I can only assume represents the real Falco Master showed up to. And the video ends there. What I find cool is that I think it's indicated that Falco Master actually lost in this video. The controller spike, followed by the dramatic images of beating all the gods in the game, only to seemingly flash back to reality, just hits a note of being a competitor. After you lose, you start thinking about what you dream of achieving, and the drive that comes with that. And that's what Falco Master's all about. Dreams. Falco Master represents the dreams that every fighting game player has. That one day you might just enter that open bracket, and that day you're the protagonist. You're going to run all the way through, playing out of your mind, and play in front of that giant crowd, much like what the real Falco Master did that day. His facelessness only characterizing him as something that anyone can insert themselves to and relate to. Almost like those generic isekai protagonists from every anime ever. But I mean, that's what I think is so pure about Falco Master. The story captured the hearts and imaginations of thousands of people. The pure want to have all of your effort and nights grinding away to come to fruition. And for most, that might never happen. Which is why it was so cool to see this faceless guy just show up out of nowhere and just beat everyone. I'm sure it's that part of this story that was captured in modern day runs like J-Mook's incredible run at Genesis. So in the end, this turned out to be a kind of sappy video, but I just wanted to tell you guys about a super cool story, as I don't really hear much about it anymore. And it's such a cool, neat little piece of Melee history that reminds people not to stop dreaming. That could one day be you up on that stage. So don't worry about the face behind the mask, but about the entity that lives in all of us, who ever put our fragile selves out there to be hurt in that open bracket. That of Falco Master.